Ellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Hi. Welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I'm your host, Angel Kinseys. My passion is to inspire seniors, bring solutions to their everyday needs, and bring the generations together. Enjoy the show.
If you're interested in joining Angel Kinsey's online Zumba class, Strength and Balance, or Zumba Gold, contact Angel at angelkinseys@gmail.com or call 954-224-0886.
Then you know it's working. Remember, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Enjoy the show.
Good evening. Welcome to the show tonight. I'm happy that you're joining me again. I just want you to know that tonight we're going to be talking about a very important subject, not just for seniors, but for everyone. And we're going to be talking about scams. And not just what type of scams there are, because there's new ones coming up every day. They still use the old ones, only in a different way. So we're going to talk about the different scams that are out there, how to avoid them, and how to prevent getting into a scam, whether it be on the internet or in person, love scams. We're going to talk all about that. And I'm so honored to have my guest tonight from the Boca Raton Police Department. I want to welcome Officer Jessica. Everybody, you could clap. We have a nice audience here tonight. Thank you.
Much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
And so, you want me to call you Jessica, right? Not
Yes,
Officer
please.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Jessica, what I would like you to let the audience know is a little bit about your experience, because you told me you have quite a bit of experience, and I'm very interested in the woman's part of it for the protection, and you said you do some of that too, so.
Yes, well, first I just want to say thank you for inviting me onto the show today. I really appreciate it, and the opportunity to talk about scams. You know, we want to get out the message as much as we can to whoever we can reach, so we really appreciate you having us on the show. I started serving in 2009, the Boca Raton Police Department. As a police officer, I worked road patrol, and I also served on our crisis negotiation team for about 5 years, and then I transitioned into the role of PIO, which is public information. We do a lot of the media relations, social media, press releases, some of the branding and marketing for the department, and so that's what I'm currently doing. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. In addition to my current role, I also am a SAFE instructor. It's a women's self-defense course.
Which I love. I want to take it, but because of COVID, they're not doing it right now, right?
Yeah, we're not doing it right now, and actually the program is being revamped, so it's going to be rolled out next year, and it's going to be enhanced, and it's going to be gender neutral, so that we can get more people involved and share our safety message. Right now we have instructors, different people from different areas of our department, and it's really just an amazing program, and we're able to connect with so many people.
So guys, get ready. It's going to be, anyone is welcome, right?
Yes, when it comes back out, all will be welcome.
Good. Mm-hmm. So let's get into the scams, because I know we've all had communication, whatever, in whatever way. So I want to just have you talk about some of the recent scams that we need to be aware of.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and there are ones that are trending here locally and nationally. They're going on, but like one of the things that are really important that we want to share with people is the game is always changing. So we're going to go over a few of the scams tonight, but nobody should get hung up on a particular scam, or, you know, they only use this business name like Microsoft or Amazon or Home Depot, because tomorrow it'll be something different. You know, so really just knowing what the flags are, the things to pick up on that are suspicious, those kinds of things to protect yourself. But I do want to go over some of the more popular scams that we're seeing today.
Absolutely.
Okay, so one of them is the grandkid scam. I know a lot of people have heard about this, so it's something that, is pretty much out there, but like I said, the game is always changing. So what most people are familiar with is getting a phone call saying that your grandchild has been arrested and they're in immediate need of bail money. And the caller is very pushy and aggressive. They need the money right now. This is the one that we're familiar with. But those things, those little tactics, they get tweaked over time. And now they're saying, there's an arrest warrant for you. This is, the IRS. We have a warrant for your arrest. You need to pay this right now. Or, all sorts of different things.
Or your family member got in a car accident.
Yes. And they need immediate payment. And the scammer tactics, they're very convincing, so it may not be very obvious at first, but you should be able to pick up on the fact that they're being very aggressive, very pushy. They want to keep you on the phone. They don't want you to get off the phone. They don't want you to make another call until you've given them money, which is their ultimate goal. So that's one of them that we have. Another one is the computer takeover. This is when someone's using, this is the big one. You're using the computer and something pops up and it says that, there's trouble with your computer, you have a virus, please call this number on your screen. And sometimes it does seem legitimate because it's showing up on your personal computer. So you pick up the phone and you call the number on the screen, and the next thing you know, you're downloading programs, you're connecting to remote access, and a lot of people, they save their passwords for their banking, and it just goes from there. These scammers are getting into your accounts and they're transferring a lot of money into these fraudulent accounts.
And they do it. You really think it's legit. I've had it done to me where they actually want to take over your computer. They ask you if they could take over your computer, because a lot of times, especially if you're not used to working with a computer, like saw a lady that said, "Oh, I'm not really good at the computer. I really don't know how to work it." Well, that's the perfect in for them, because they go right in and they say, "Well, we could take it over and we could do everything for you."
Correct.
Don't
do it. No. There are other ways. If you suspect that there is something wrong with your computer, you can take it into one of the stores and like a Best Buy or a computer service where they can help you and they can determine, or you can have somebody that comes out to your house. There are legitimate ways to address any issue with your computer. But if you see something pop up on your screen, don't take it at face value. And you should never call that number,
Now, I've been getting emails, I've been getting texts, a lot of text, different companies, legitimate companies, my bank, and what do you do? Like, if you're not sure and you think, oh, this is my bank, it's telling me, this is how much money I got or whatever. What do you do in that situation?
In that situation, if you have a credit card or a debit card, flip your card over and look for that phone number on the back, and that's the number that you should be calling. Call that number directly, express your concern, and ask whatever questions you have. How can they help you with this situation? Is there a problem? That sort of thing. You can go into your local branch, but never call back the number that's provided to you in that communication. Email, text, nothing like that. And if there's a link that's sent to you, don't click on the link. Access it yourself. You want to go directly to the site. Don't use any of the links or numbers that they are providing to you. Yeah. So another one is the gift card scam. And this is another very popular one where you get a call and they're saying that you owe money. Maybe it's a cable bill or a utility bill. You haven't paid it. They need immediate payment. They need you to go to the store and purchase a gift card. Keywords, gift card. If anyone's calling you and asking you for a gift card payment, it is fraud, 110% fraud. So we really want to put that message out there. At a lot of our local stores, we have messaging above the gift card stands saying stop. They look like stop signs, and they're saying don't go any further. If you're on the phone, someone's trying to convince you to buy gift cards.
Gift card in the store.
Yes, as a form of payment. There's a good chance that this is fraud. Call the police, talk to a store representative. And I spoke with one of our economic crime investigators while I was preparing for tonight's show. And they said that victims have even said that they saw those signs and they read the signs, but they were so convinced in that moment that they were doing what they needed to do to, pay off their balance. And even in a lot of these stores, the workers, they're trained and they know to pick up on some suspicious activity. So they might even ask, are you sure about this? Did you get any phone calls telling you, so they're trying to help out people, especially our elderly population. So,
So I know that like a lot of the emails that I get, or even the text, I will immediately, I don't open it up, but I'll immediately call that company. Like if it's my bank or if it's PayPal or Amazon or any of the big companies, I'll call that, like you said, the main number. And usually what they do is they will give you an email to forward that email to. Now I've talked to a lot of people because I deal with seniors, and I've talked to them about this, and a lot of them say, oh, I just delete the number, or I just block the number. Well, don't do that because they're going to keep doing it. You need to report it, right? I mean, I was told by the bank that send it to spoof. Most of them are like spoof@paypal.com or spoof@Chase. So a lot of them have a special number where it's going to go right to the fraud department. So you really want to kind of forward that email. That's what they told me at the bank.
Right, and there are places where you can report that, like the Federal Trade Commission, that sort of thing. If you go online, you're able to, do a complaint. You can report something that's happened to you. If you haven't become a victim, you haven't lost any money, that sort of thing, then, you may not necessarily need to file a police report or something like that, because a lot of our detectives, they're working cases where our victims are at a loss for money.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of the investigation leads you to these voiceover, IPs, different countries, and that sort of thing. So we want to investigate and we want to solve all of these crimes and get to the bottom of it, but it becomes very difficult when you realize all the tactics that are being used to scam.
And like you said, they're coming out with new ones because so many people are aware of the grandson going to jail or the accident, but they're going to do something different to trick you.
Right.
Yeah.
And we say, what are the top scams? And there are popular ones, but there are a ton of different kinds of scams. I mean, there are people out there in this world where their sole purpose for work is to scam people out of money. And they get very creative, and they're convincing, and sometimes they really do their research. For some of the scams, like the grandkid scam, if they call and say, we're from the Boca Raton Police Department, I'm so-and-so, they may have gone on our website and grabbed a couple of names, and they're impersonating people that are known to the community and they seem legitimate. That's very scary. They're taking the time to do this research.
And then, I know there's like the love scams, you call them the sweetheart scams?
We do, we call them the sweetheart scams.
Which is really big because there's a lot of lonely people out there with COVID, stuck in the house by themselves, a lot of people alone.
Right. And this is anyone that you meet online. They want to develop a relationship with you. These are the scams that may not happen overnight. They may happen over a period of time, whether it's weeks, months, years. They're developing this relationship with you, and ultimately they're going to scam you out of money. So our best advice for that is just anyone that you're meeting online, never get involved with anything money-wise.
As soon as they ask for money,
Yeah.
That's the light bulb that has to go off in your head. And so many people have a good heart and they want to help. They, you know, they feel the need because they want that relationship and that love. Mm-hmm. So that's another really important one. Right now, we're just going to take a little commercial break, and then we're going to be back, and we're going to finish the conversation, and we're going to talk about how to protect yourself if something happens to you. Okay? Thank you. So I want to welcome my sponsor. She is an independent insurance agent. She is my personal agent. Her name is Michelle Amron. She has helped so many of my students that I know, my clients, and I'm going to give you her phone number is 561-308-0293. And she also helps with Social Security, Medicare, and if you need Medicaid. She really personalizes her information to you. She will help you. And she really gives you individual help. And she keeps up with you the whole year. And if she feels like you need to change, she'll contact you and let you know. She's right on top of everything. She's excellent. So I really would like, if you know that October 7th is the deadline for Medicare. And even if you're happy with your insurance, you may want to just have a question. She'd be more than happy to just answer your questions. She doesn't just deal with one company, and that's what I love about her. She will give you help in whatever area and whatever kind of company you need for your needs. And again, her phone number is 561-308-0293. Now let's get back to the show.
If you're interested in joining Angel Kinsey's online Zumba class, Strength and Balance, or Zumba Gold, contact Angel at angelkinseys@gmail.com or call 954-224-0886.
Then you know it's working. Remember, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Enjoy the show.
Welcome back. And again, we're going to get back into how to protect yourself from these scams. So I also want you to know that you could go into my Touch by Angel Live at any time with the link. Those shows are there all the way back to January. I've done, I think, 17 shows, and they're all specializing in the needs of seniors. So if you scroll onto that site, you will be able to see each show and what the topic is. So then you could go look back and you could see it anytime. You could share it with anyone. So I hope you take advantage of that. Go back and look for, there's good information on there. So back to Officer Jessica. I know Jessica. So I wanted to find out about how would you give advice to protect yourself from all this happening?
Right. So we've gone over some of the scams and some of the things to look out for. So you're going to be protecting yourself when you're looking out for certain things. Keywords like the gift card, you know, these tactics where people are very aggressive and pushy and trying to keep you on the phone. These are all things that should raise red flags, and you shouldn't go any further. I would never give out personal information unless I was the one who initiated the call. Certain things like that you can do to protect yourself. Another thing that's really important is just staying aware, staying involved. And I know anyone listening to this show right now and taking mental note, they're engaged. You know, they're trying to protect themselves, and that's really important. That's a big step. And especially seniors, you know, as they get older, sometimes they withdraw from the larger community, or, you know, perhaps they can't walk or they can't see as well as they used to. And it's a little harder to find ways to stay engaged, but we encourage people to do that, you know, make those connections, find ways to get involved, and you'll stay on top of the things that are happening out there. Being proactive. When I was talking to the investigator in the economic crimes unit, she said that these are preventable crimes. Okay, a lot of these scams, and sometimes we don't have control over whether or not we become a victim, but when it comes to scams, most of the time we're able to protect ourselves. So
nothing is so urgent that you have to react and do something right away. You could stop, make a phone call, and find out more information. You don't have to rush. I think that's the biggest thing on the scams, is that they make you want to answer right away. And I think you kind of feel guilty a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I have to answer this. But you don't. You don't.
Right. And legitimate companies, they're not going to be super pushy. They're going to let you know what the problem is. And if you need to make another phone call or look into it or do your own research, they're going to understand. You know, it's the ones that want to keep you on the phone. They want money right then, right now. You know, they will go to the extent of staying on the phone with you while you drive to a store and you purchase gift cards. They're buying gift cards while they are on the phone with these people. They'll stay on the phone with you for hours because they really don't want you to hang up.
So you got to, if you feel uncomfortable or you're not sure, the best thing to do is just hang up, write down that phone number, and then call that company, whatever it is. I
Right.
mean, you've got to be, like you said, you got to be aware and be proactive. You got to
Really.
be, I think the most important thing is you just be aware of it. If you're alert and you're thinking, okay, every single day people are getting scammed, 1, 2, 3 times. I could tell you this last week, I know quite a few people that have been scammed, okay? So fortunately they got their money back, but it's a pain, you know, to have to deal with it. It's a heartache. It's very frustrating.
It is frustrating. And a lot of our detectives, the ones that are in the economic crimes unit, they're very passionate about seeking justice for our victims, and they really care. So when they find out, you know, how people are being cheated out of money and that sort of thing, I mean, they're frustrated and they're heartbroken for these people too.
Yeah.
And they want the message to go out there. I mean, when they heard that I was going on the show tonight, they were throwing things at me, little tips, little
So
things.
I'm sure they're going to be out there watching it, right?
Yes, I'm sure they will
And
be.
then they can replay this too.
That's
so
great.
Really, there's 2 ways to look at this. If you avoid it, you're not going to get scammed. They're not going to take your money. But if you get into it, you could lose everything. So it's
You
like,
gotta be really careful.
yeah, you could really lose everything if you're foolish enough to give out information. So never give information. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, we talked about this, about especially seniors, I think, they're afraid to tell people when they think they've made a mistake.
Right.
I had it in my own family. My own aunt didn't want to talk about it because she was embarrassed what she did. So
Yeah, and our advice is, if it does happen, don't be embarrassed to talk about it. Call the bank, get everything sorted out, you know, let somebody know who you trust, who can give you some guidance. And remember that we have a whole department, a whole unit dedicated to helping victims of fraud. So this is something that's happening every day. I mean, you're not alone. These things happen to the best of us. People should feel comfortable sharing and talking about it.
I think they're afraid to tell their family. So I think the biggest thing is tell your child, tell your grandchild, talk to your neighbor, tell a friend. Don't hold it in and be quiet. If you're not sure, don't be afraid to ask. So I want to just say, I want to thank Jessica for coming. It's been a pleasure. I hope it helped somebody out there. I know it's going to help you to be more aware of it and prevent the love scam, the money scams. Please be alert. If you have questions, you're welcome to call. Like she said, you could call any of the police departments. This is not just local. This is all over, everywhere. So don't be afraid to call up and ask for help. And you know, don't be afraid to tell your family also. You need to just come out and ask for help. I want to let you know real quick that my next show is in 2 weeks. It's going to be on September 8th, 7 to 7:30. Now, if you missed the 7 o'clock, you could always get the show later, okay? But I'm going to have a special chief officer of the 211, which is a resource center for the community. And they have it's a helpline. They give all kinds of information. They direct you to whatever you need. Any problem that you may have, senior or whatever, if you are without food, if you're without a home, whatever your problem is, you could call this 211 number. It's not just local, it is all over the country. So I'm going to have the officer come in 2 weeks, and we're going to discuss what they have to offer for you, and you'll be able to come in and ask questions. So I want to thank my audience tonight. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And again, thank you, Jessica, for coming. Thank you to the police department in Boca Raton for having her come and give us great information. Thank you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching Touched by Angel Live. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. Have a wonderful day.